Good morning, and welcome to this masterclass on commanding the unseen forces that shape every moment of your day. Over the next 4 parts, you'll learn to sense energy, read its signals, forge unbreakable self-trust, and translate tension into your greatest ally. Let's begin. Part 1. Sensing the sovereign current. We start by feeling the elemental force that greets you each morning. Unmistakable, uncompromising, and utterly real. Energy is not gentle, it's not abstract. Energy arrives at dawn like a tidal wave of gravity, pressing into body and mind before a single plan has formed. From the moment awareness stirs, a sovereign current pulses beneath every breath, shaping posture, compressing thoughts, tuning the senses to its relentless rhythm. This force is neither fickle nor decorative. It is the living architecture of presence, a sinewed scaffold that supports intention and directs impulse. It does not whisper suggestions or offer polite guidance. It declares its terms with the weight of unspoken expectations, coiling through muscle, mind, and environment until resistance yields to motion. This sovereign current is embodied in every sensation and signal. It anchors itself in the tightness of the chest when obligations loom, in the hum beneath the skin as tasks press in, and in the subtle tremor of fingertips poised over a keyboard. Surrounding objects, tables, lamps, chairs become conduits, amplifying or damping the flow of energy through their angles, textures, and positions. Light arcs across the workspace like a celestial arrow, its trajectory carving new channels of attention as dawn's rays trace each surface. In this field, energy is no abstraction but a tangible presence. A force that gathers in corners, reflects off surfaces, and leaves its mark on posture long before thought takes shape. To resist this current is a futile act. The force does not bend to the will. It simply continues until all opposition is exhausted and gives way, leaving not a choice, but a final divergence. There is the path of grinding resistance, and there is the state of surrender. In surrender, the body is not commanded, but attuned to the energy's rhythm. Physical sensations cease to be chaotic distractions. They become direct information, the clear language of the current signaling its direction and intensity. The mind's role shifts from architect of plans to mirror for patterns. Its fight against the flow dissolves into the function of reading it. This alignment reveals a new form of guidance. Random impulses resolve into an inherent map for action. Clarity emerges once the ego's struggle and desire for control have ceased. From this clarity, the flow is no longer separate but integrated. Intention becomes a focus that emerges from the current, a synchronous rhythm where directing the flow and being directed by it are one and the same. Now that you feel the current, learn to read its broadcasts. Every object in your world is sending a signal. Session 2, Communication Nodes. Every object in the room functions like a beacon of energy, broadcasting its frequency long before conscious thought arrives. A stack of papers pulses with urgency, its edges sharp as comet tails. A chipped mug holds echoes of yesterday's tasks, its surface humming with unfinished business. A chair's tilt speaks of collapse or command, its angle quietly scripting the spine's alignment. In this charged field, nothing is silent. Each item inscribes its signal into posture and pulse, forging an unspoken conversation between space and being. The body's tissues serve as living parchment where these broadcasts are inscribed. The tightness in the jaw is not a random affliction, but the physical echo of ambient tension. A subtle shift in weight answers the silent pull of a cluttered corner. These signals accumulate into a dense internal weather system, a landscape of pressure and release mapped directly onto sinew and bone. Before a single decision is made, the body has already absorbed the room's testimony, its posture a living verdict on the energetic harmony or dissonance of the space. Nervous system calibration. Light carves its path through the room like a celestial arrow, its warmth or glare tuning the body's rhythm. Sounds, electronics drone, traffic's distant ebb thread through the air as living frequencies, modulating awareness before the mind can name them. Textures and materials enter this symphony as conductors. Cool metal sharpens alertness, smooth wood steadies heartbeat, soft fabric absorbs excess charge. These elements do more than decorate. They compose the nervous system's score, translating ambient stimuli into the subtle language of readiness or repose. This calibration primes the body into coiled potential, transforming it from passive receiver into instrument ready for kinetic release. A space tuned for focus doesn't just quiet the mind, it gathers intention into a fine point, holding it at the threshold of action. The very air seems denser. The silence between sounds becomes a held breath. In this charged stillness, the nervous system is not merely calm, but potent, a conduit prepared to channel a surge of decisive energy. This is the architecture of readiness, where environment forges the body into weapon, vessel, or lens long before purpose is declared. Environmental architecture. Space itself emerges as structural partner in the dance of energy. Open surfaces extend thought's trajectory like unbroken starfields, while clustered objects fold momentum into eddies. Intervals between items, vacant pockets by a lamp, spans of tabletop between papers, become silent corridors guiding attention along deliberate arcs or scattering it like meteor fragments. This architectural dialogue reveals that space is never mere backdrop, but an active collaborator, shaping the sovereign current as valleys channel rivers. In the geometry of presence, every threshold crossed, every shadow cast, becomes part of the living map by which energy flows, shifts, and reveals hidden pathways. To engage this architecture deliberately is to become choreographer of the current. Clearing a surface is a ritual carving clarity's channel. Placing a tool is an invocation for the energy it commands. By sculpting this terrain, one learns to build dams of stillness or open floodgates for momentum. This practice transforms the self from vessel swept along into navigator who reads the flow, adjusts the rigging of environment, harnesses sovereign force to steer a deliberate course. Every object moved, every path cleared, an act of co-creation with the invisible. Having calibrated your world, now turn inward. Forge the covenant with yourself that no force can break. Session 3. The Alchemy of Self-Trust, Forging an Inner Covenant. At dawn, the world lies half asleep. The sky's pale blush seeps through half-drawn blinds, softening every edge in a gentle gray wash. In that muted light, the air feels hushed, almost sacred, before demands begin. You sense dust motes drifting in the dawn beam. Hear early traffic's hum as the city yawns. A fragile bubble of calm. A rare lull before mind braces for the day's roar. Even simply breathing feels generous, a gift of space inviting awareness to settle like dew on grass. Then comes routine's stir. A phone screen flickers, an email banner whispers new message, the first sip of coffee shivers in your hand. Between breath and habit pulls lies a fleeting aperture. A heartbeat suspended between what was and what will be. In that pause, choice shimmers. Flow with external currents, or pause and orient yourself. It's neither heroism nor hardship, but a quiet threshold where intention can be planted. The world beyond beckons with urgencies, but here, right here, you hold power to decide how you will meet it. Stepping across this threshold is the birth of a self-love environment. In the soft morning glow, sink into 10-minute meditation, settle mind as though coaxing a window open to breeze. Each inhale welcomes. Each exhale releases yesterday's residue. From stillness, gather day's edges. Handwrite intentions on a scrap of paper, not demands but tender signposts to guide focus. Later, cradle a notebook. Let gratitude ripple through thoughts. 3 moments that warmed you. A shared smile, sunrise coffee, an unexpected kindness. Not checkboxes, but blossoms of recognition. Life's richness begins with noticing. Finally, we ground these insights in daily rituals, manage our inner climate, and close with the practices that turn knowledge into transformation. Session 4. Before the rush. With each simple ritual, breath, intention, gratitude, you carve channels of kindness through which energy flows, alcoves of calm where spirit rests. No grandeur here, only quiet power of grounding yourself in compassion before the storm arrives. Each sunrise offers a blueprint for rebuilding the hidden refuge of care. One gentle choice at a time, draw breath, set intention, honor gratitude. You reinforce the foundation of self-nurturing that steadies heart and guides every step. In this sacred atelier, the grain of your being is raw material for something exquisite. Before tasks, pause. Take a slow, deep breath. Reach for your favorite ebook, feeling each highlighted word whisper its wisdom back. Close cover, pen in hand, journal intentions, picturing each moment as an invitation for the universe to surprise you. Then utter your gratitude. Thank you for love, support, abundance, for joy, and for a day that reflects my greatness. Invite the universe to dance with you, feeling the floor beneath transform into a stage of infinite possibility. Drift through memory's gallery, hand-pick past triumphs, times you met discomfort with curiosity, heeded your body's signals with compassion, spoke truth with gentle courage. Each recollection resonates with self-love commandments. Value worth without apology. Speak kindly of your journey. Stand firm as steward of your heart. Lay these boards upon mind's workbench, their edges fit in harmony, weaving a living covenant from your own testimony. Managing with emotional intelligence. Later, when the afternoon lull settles and emails pulse on screen, lean into empathy's quiet strength, turned inward. Notice tight shoulders, hitch in breath, gently inquire, what does this moment need from me? That question softens workload into manageable parts, each an invitation to pause and choose. Recall a morning triumph, a clear sentence drafted, a decision honored. Let that spark of gratitude pulse through veins. Weave self-awareness, regulation, self-compassion into each moment. Transform stress into loom on which resilience, clarity, and grace are woven patiently. Before the midday whirlwind, feel tightening behind eyes and shoulders. Pause, inhale deeply, acknowledge tension as visitor, not enemy. This is stress. Naming it lights path for calm. The alarmed self softens. Demands become stepping stones, not avalanche. Invite curiosity. What is this flutter telling me? Overwhelm becomes opening. An opportunity to listen and act from clarity instead of chaos. When a blank document looms, settle into 3 slow breaths, each exhale releasing weight. In inhale, exhale, the empty page shifts from threat to canvas, awaiting your perspective. Reframe task as exploration. What insight might emerge if I treat this as experiment? Too much softens into just enough, fingers glide with steady intention. Here, resilience isn't hard won, it's woven from mindful pauses. Later, as the lull returns, emails pulsate. Lean again into inward empathy. Notice shoulder tension, breath hitch, inquire, what does this need? Softens workload, invites choice. Recall morning win, gratitude pulses anew. Weave awareness, self-compassion. Stress becomes raw material for tapestry of resilience and grace. Ground fingertips on desk edge, lift chin, draw nourishing breath. Renewed focus stretches the remainder of day into rich possibility, guided by intention. Rituals for self-regulation and self-love. Ambition for peace, a sacred resolve. Before the world's clamor rises, carry fierce intention, not for conquest, but calm. This ambition for peace is neither passive nor meek. It is a clarion call echoing through deliberate breath. Storms will surge, meetings bristle, deadlines loom like clouds, but you refuse to be uprooted. You anchor in knowing peace is forged through purpose, not circumstance. Cultivating blamelessness through ritual. Blamelessness isn't summoned in heat, it's forged in daily rituals, cadence. Morning meditation, deliberate journal entry, moments reading comforting passage, all acts of self-love and attunement. By midday, when tension crackles, tracing desk edge reminds, you stand on firm ground. In that act, you affirm that every breath in meditation, every word in gratitude, was an offering to nurture peace. Resting in that intention, you move through chaos with absolute clarity, no ambiguity, no swirl of past miscreations. Polarity as teacher. Storms arrive not as punishments, but as instructors, testing your foundation. When you stand in clear conscience, knowing you've cultivated peace, polarities deliver breakthroughs, drawing you closer to desire. Meet conflict with curious compassion. Observe tension with openness, softening impact, transforming unrest into possibility. Each disturbance becomes mirror, reflecting assumptions, vulnerabilities, wounds ripe for healing. In that reflection, you glimpse resilience's edges. Chaos ceases to be enemy, it becomes ally, guiding you to discoveries you'd otherwise miss. Peace is not rest, but catalyst, nurtured to ignite greatness. Daily breath, reflective journaling, moments of gratitude are kindling for that fire. As polarity tests foundation, those rituals anchor you. Every surge of tension becomes spark for next breakthrough, not blow to resolve. Stand steadfast, blameless and rich with self-love, Transform disruption into force, propelling you toward your aspirations and destined growth. As we close this seminar, remember, energy is not a polite guest. It is the elemental force shaping every thought, posture, and decision. You've learned to recognize its sovereign current as dawn's first light presses into your chest. You felt how your workspace becomes living circuit, objects and angles broadcasting signals into muscles and nerves. This isn't poetic flourish. It's raw reality of presence, a choreography of impulses you can resist and exhaust yourself against, or surrender to and travel with. The practice begins when you stop pushing and start listening. Designing your physical environment is designing your readiness' architecture. A cleared desk becomes river channel. Ideas flow unimpeded. A strategically placed lamp slices through haze, carving path for attention. Chair angle, fingertip texture, electronics hum, all conduits for sovereign current. Each detail is decision point. Amplify clarity or feed chaos. Sculpt gallery for focus or leave tangled forest that demands rescue. Choose deliberately. Your room becomes execution partner, not obstacle. Yet environments, external or internal, mean little without alchemy of self-trust. In dawn's hush, you paused. 10 minutes of meditation, handwritten intentions, moments of gratitude. Not indulgence, but bedrock of inner covenant. Every breath in stillness, act of agreement with your capacity. Every handwritten line, a line in sand. Here I lead with presence. Gratitude is strategic recognition of fuel you possess. This forge hammers self-trust into being, so when flood arrives, you stand not on sand but tempered steel. Managing emotional intelligence is treating stress as raw material, not enemy. When midday whirlwind rattles chest, you name tension, draw it into inquiry. What does this moment need from me? In that question lives power. You transform demands cascade into manageable steps. When blank page looms, you soften threat into curiosity. What insight might emerge? 3 slow breaths. Overwhelm dissolves. Creativity emerges. This skill is practiced in every pause, every inward turn before action. Finally, ritual bridges intention and embodiment. Ambition for peace is daily resolution, reinforced through meditation, journaling, desk edge tracing. These actions are both kindling and anchor. They prepare you for polarity's tests, transform tension surges into sparks of discovery. By standing steadfast in interior environment, you harness chaos as ally. You become navigator and vessel of the tide, able to redirect its force toward chosen destinations. Now, carry these learnings forward. Clear one workspace surface tonight. Schedule tomorrow's 10-minute pause before coffee. Place your lamp so its beam greets you head-on. Write 3 intentions as whispered invitations, not demands. When stress arrives, don't brace. Bend toward it, ask it questions. Let its answers guide your next act. This is how you transform energy from unpredictable wave into propulsive wind. This is how environments become living collaborators. Rituals become inviolable covenants, and you, at every threshold, become author of your own motion.